covering news where you live. This is 5 News.
Well, thank you for joining us here for the latest news and weather where you live. I'm Joe Ellison. A fire at a scrapyard that crews were battling for hours is out now. This started yesterday afternoon on Wednesday at Yaffe Iron and Metal on Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. Investigators say a single vehicle in the salvage yard at Yaffe started this fire. Crews say they aren't sure how the car actually caught fire, but the battalion chief says flames spread pretty quickly.
There's probably 60 to 80 cars that ended up burning by the end of it. Now, most of them were just pieces of cars because it's a pile of scrap metal. So there's miscellaneous scrap metal and cars and different things like that.
Well, no one was hurt, and it took the Fort Smith Fire Department a little more than 2 hours to get that fire completely out. And Fort Smith police were on the scene just before midnight at a deadly hit and run. Police say a pedestrian was hit and killed by a vehicle at North 50th and Worthing Avenue. Fort Smith PD says more information will be released when it's available. Of course, stay with us at 5 News for updates on this developing story. Meanwhile, we're now learning that a man from Fayetteville is accused in a deadly hit and run in Elkins. 43-year-old Nicholas Emerson was arrested in Hot Springs. He's accused of fleeing the scene after hitting Scott Stidman in Elkins earlier this month. Emerson is due in court on August 1st. Well, before we get to more news where you live, let's get a check of that weather with meteorologist Zach Scott. And Zach, once again, another hot day. It's just a hot week.
It's a hot week, and again, this is the hottest stretch, Joe. We're talking that last week and a half of July, that first 2 weeks of August. I mean, that's the peak of our hot season here, and then we start cooling off. It takes some time, but start heading into fall. We're looking at temperatures for your Thursday, not far off from where we were your Tuesday, your Wednesday. The air mass not really changing a whole lot here. We do get a lot of sunshine. We're around 93 degrees around 1 o'clock, northwest Arkansas, feeling more like the upper 90s, though. Feels like temperatures are going to stay in the upper 90s through the afternoon, close to around 100 degrees. Highs today will range about 92 to 95 degrees. Again, every day we have about a 3-degree spread. Can't rule out maybe an evening isolated shower. We've got a 10% chance in there. Saw a few spotty sprinkles in the River Valley this morning. It's all sunshine, hot, dry afternoon, 95 degrees, heat index around 102 already early afternoon, sweating it out all day long for us in the River Valley. We're looking at temperatures upper 90s, and then we're going to be topping out, it feels like temperatures around 105 degrees. We had a breeze on Wednesday. You get a south breeze in again today. We're looking at those gusts not quite as strong as yesterday, but we still have a gust about 15 to 20 miles per hour across the River Valley and northwest Arkansas back into Oklahoma. So that'll help make it feel a little more tolerable outside. Joe?
All right, thanks so much, Zach. Well, those TikTok trends always going viral, but many of them are giving false information. There's a new holistic health trend involving borax, which has gone viral on TikTok. Ariant Detil with our National Verified team asked the experts if borax is safe to eat.
A popular TikTok trend says you should consume borax, which is commonly used as a laundry detergent or a cleaner, but this time as a natural health remedy.
Borax is amazing. It literally cleared my joint pain.
People claim just a little bit is all you need to treat ailments like rheumatoid arthritis and gout.
He took a pinch in his water daily and massive health improvements.
But is this safe? Let's verify. Our sources are U.S. Borax, which manufactures the industrial chemical, Dr. Kelly Johnson Arbor, medical director at the National Capital Poison Center, and the Food and Drug Administration.
I definitely think that it is unsafe for people to eat borax. And we know that borax can be poisonous.
That's Dr. Kelly Johnson Arbor with the National Capital Poison Center. She says some people might think borax is safe to ingest because it's made up of naturally occurring elements like boron, which can be found in things like plants, fruits, nuts, and even red wine. But she says the borax that you buy in store is different.
Really, the laundry formulations of borax are not safe for human consumption.
And in the U.S., borax is banned by the FDA for use in food products. So we can verify, no, it isn't safe to consume borax as a remedy for some common ailments. Honestly, you shouldn't eat borax at all. The U.S. Borax website says its products are, quote, labeled as not for internal use, and thus are not intended for internal related applications nor as an active ingredient. Side effects of ingesting or exposure to borax include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and skin rashes, skin pain, and peeling skin. That's if somebody bathes in borax. With your Verify, I'm Ariante Till.
Well, thank you for joining us here at 5 News. Catch up with us again tomorrow right here for more of the latest news and weather. I'm Joe Ellison. Have a great day.